Assalamualaikum dulur-dulurku semua. Ini adalah jalanan di Thailand. Jadi saya sudah memplani akan ke Gym Thompson. Sudah lihat-lihat peta. Kalau dari jalan kita akan lewat jalan yang turun ke bawah ini. Tapi saya akan mencoba untuk memperlihatkan di depan itu ada sungai. Jadi nanti setelah kita turun dari jalan tadi, kita akan menyusuri pinggiran sungai tersebut. Setelah ini coba dilihat. Oke, ini sungainya. Nanti kita akan menyusuri sungai tersebut. Ikutin terus perjalanan saya. Kita akan menuju ke Gym Thompson. Tadi kita dari jalan atas tersebut. Nah ini kita udah turun ya. Terus kita akan berjalan menyusuri pinggiran sungai. Ini sebenarnya adalah jalur alternatif kedua. Yang jalan pertama dia memang khusus untuk kendaraan beroda 3 atau roda 4 ya. Dan ini untuk pejalan kaki. Dari jalan ini sebenarnya bisa mempersingkat perjalanan menuju ke Gym Thompson. Di sini pun kita diberikan pemandangan pinggiran sungai. Nah, di sini dia lumayan rapi ya. Bisa dilihat.
Jalannya bro lewat pinggir sungai, tapi dia rapi ya. Gila. Ini ada pelabuhan kecil, bisa naik kapal, tapi belum lihat kapalnya kayak apa. Sekarang kita ke Gym Thompson ya. House. Kalau ada kayak gini hormati aja, jangan diganggu. Sekarang jam 1:13. Tapi ya kalau di Indonesia dibuat kayak gini, udah ada di depan tuh Gym Thompson and House. Jadi kita udah sampai di Gym Thompson House, open daily dari jam 9 sampai jam 5 sore. Kita lihat dulu.
Nah ini jalan utamanya yang saya sebutkan tadi. Ini untuk yang beroda 3 sama roda 4 ya, lewat sini. Finally we arrive at Gym Thompson House. Jadi saya harus beli tiket dulu. Saya menuju ke tempat tiketing dulu ya.
Kita punya how many?
One ticket?
Yeah, one ticket.
You take the tour in English or French?
In English.
English. The English tour start 125 200 baht. Where are you from?
200 baht.
Thank you.
Photo is not allowed, yeah?
Yes.
A video?
Excuse me?
Video allowed?
Video, the main house video you cannot,
the main
you
house.
can take a picture, it's okay.
Okay.
But around the house you can.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
The tour start in the garden, 125.
One,
Before
two,
the tour start, you can look around and take a picture in the garden.
Okay, in the garden. Yeah.
Jadi saya dapat untuk tour jam 1.25.
Akhirnya sampai.
Sambil menunggu waktu jam
1.25,
1.25, saya akan mencari tempat untuk duduk untuk beristirahat setelah berjalan. Ketemu lagi sama kepala ikan koi besar-besar ya, ikan. Nah, itu area garden dari Jim Thompson House kalau kita masuk gerbang ini. Sepertinya untuk kita cari tempat duduk. Akhirnya setelah duduk beberapa lama di luar garden, saya memutuskan untuk masuk ke dalam garden Jim Thompson. Di dalam ada tempat istirahat juga, sambil saya mau mengambil beberapa spot foto juga di sini.
You want to see inside the museum?
Yeah.
Do you have ticket?
I have. I have.
What time do you got?
I will take my ticket. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, your tour just start already.
Already.
Yes.
Oh.
Because now it's 45. You can.
I'm late ya.
But now you're cooking inside the house.
Karena terlalu lama tadi beristirahat di luar garden, jadi tidak menyangka kalau saya
The
telat.
cook already started and it's nearly finished. Would you like to wait for the next one or would you like to join this one? Now it's in the house and
I will waiting the next.
the next one comes in. The next one start at 2:10. In about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, please come back here at 2:10. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm waiting here.
Yes.
Problem.
Now you can walk in the garden, take photo, and you can meet there or here at 2:10. Thank you.
Hahaha, ternyata telat ya untuk ikut tour yang jam 1.25. Oke, tidak apa-apa. Akhirnya diganti yang jam 2 dan saya pun duduk di garden ya. Jadi tahu nanti kalau memang ada yang grup untuk tour selanjutnya.
Jadi ceritanya telat rombongan guys. Tadi harusnya udah jalan dari jam 1.25, tapi karena masih kepanasan sih. Cari yang dingin. Ternyata jam 2.10 nih diikutin rombongan kedua. Panas sekali kok. Gak apa, pengalaman juga. Ini garden ya. Kita jalan-jalan muter-muter dulu. Lihat rumahnya Jim Thompson. The James Thompson collection. Ini ceritanya dia itu pengusaha sukses Amerika. Usahanya kain sutra ya. Seperti itu rumahnya. Rumahnya dari kayu. Ini bagus ya. Tamannya. Ini duduk aja dulu di tamannya. Kalau pengen foto-foto, coba kita foto-foto dulu ya. Oke.
Itu udah ada beberapa orang, mungkin dia termasuk grup dari tour saya ya. Saya juga tidak tahu. Benar. Saya coba untuk lihat-lihat juga yang bagian luar garden di depan rumahnya dulu. Jadi Jim Thompson ini orang kaya raya ya, pengusaha sukses. Di rumahnya juga dia sangat mewah ya, banyak koleksi di dalamnya. Dan ini sekarang udah dikelola sama foundation menjadi sebuah museum. Jadi orang-orang bisa masuk dan melihat barang-barang koleksi Jim Thompson yang ada di rumahnya. So tour is starting. Some people in group will be tour together with our guide. Maaf, mungkin kameranya ke spot yang tidak bagus ya. Jadi mohon maaf sebelumnya ke teman-teman. Jadi saya akan melanjutkan untuk mereka. Ini pun sudah melalui persetujuan
And
dari
Wilfred
guide.
once only farmed in small villages in the countryside. However, when he discovered the beauty of Thai silk, he decided to promote it internationally. So he went to New York City with oscillations of colorful silk to show the editor of Folk magazine, fashions, and state designers. So Americans were impressed with the beauty of Thai silk and began sending orders to Jim Thompson. When 100 star pieces of his Thai silk were used in the musical play The King and I, Jim Thompson became famous. Based on his success, he founded the now well-known the Jim Thompson Thai Silk Company. So to make his popular silk, he studied all textile designs. For example, he used design success dough on this printing block that was used to make sarong. And the smaller pieces can be removed to change the colors. Above is a ruler to measure the fabric. For fabric designs, he also used motifs on his collection of the 19th century porcelain, which were made in China for export to Southeast Asia. Also, please look at the design on the fishbowl. This one is over 200 years old from China. And here are Chinese garden stools. The charcoal can be pasted inside to heat the seed. And it's like there were the warm seed in the winter in China in 200 years ago. สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to the Jim Thompson house. My name is Nampan. I'm glad to see you here. And Mr. Thompson found that small building in Ayutthaya province. It now contains a collection of Burmese wall hangings. You are welcome to visit here after the tour. But now you follow me to see the tourists, and we will now be entering the house. Okay, this way, please.
Jadi di grup tour ini saya beserta 4 orang dan saya, jadi ada 5 orang plus 1 guide yang dia akan memandu untuk tournya.
Yes, so across the canal from us is the Bangkok, the Muslim community. The residents of Bangkok were known for their 5 skills. When Jim Thompson started his business, he would come here to order silk. Later, he decided to buy land and build his house here to be closer to his people. And Jim Thompson bought 6 different old wooden houses, then connected together into one house. It's like the dining room is one house and the living room is one house. Also, in the old days, traditional Thai wooden houses were built on the stilts to protect the family from flooding. And most of Thai houses are built facing rivers or canal like this and have their own boat landing. Also, the living room is about 200 years old from their family who lived across the canal. Now, you follow me to see the downstairs before entering the house. Here.
With great taste.
And this standing Buddha statue came from Lopburi province in Thailand and dates to the 7th century Navarawadi period, when there was an important monk kingdom here. This one is the oldest Buddha statue in this collection. So this is about 1,400 years old and is made of gray limestone. You know, the Buddha statues are symbolic of the Rama, which is the teaching of the Buddha. These statues are sacred and have deep spiritual meaning for the Buddhists. Also, Jim Thompson collected many pieces that were damaged and tried to prevent objects from being smuggled out of Thailand. Also, do you see that small structure? This way. Yes, and we call that is the spirit house. According to Thai folk tradition, we believe that when we build a new house, we are disturbing the spirits who live in the ground. So to apologize and gain protection, we build a new house for the spirits. And the owner of the house should pay respect by making offerings of incense stick, fruit, water, and flowers. And you can see that house all around Thailand. Just like Thai people will prepare food and water to the house almost every day to get up to it. Yes, and we will now be entering the house. According to Thai custom, we need to take off our shoes before entering. So if you follow me this way, we provide our water for the shoes also your back. Thank you. Listen, please.
Saya akan naik ke lantai atas, jadi barang-barang dan sepatu semuanya ditinggal di tempat penitipan barang.
Nah itu.
Are you not feeling hot? Yeah, it's feeling hot. It's trap position.
During our tour, please don't touch any objects. Also, you can take pictures inside the house, but please don't take our videos nor selfies. Thank you. Now we are in the entrance hall. And this metal style and cold stairway was Jim Thompson's special idea. Because in the old days, the stairways are only outside the house in the compound. But for convenience, Jim Thompson built this stairway for his guests. I'm so sorry. For 400 years ago, there were many Chinese artisans who were working in the old capital of Ayutthaya. So you can see that the face and the features are more Chinese that time. And this one is over 400 years old. Also, this is a Burmese man from Mandalay in Burma. It's from 17th century and it's made of tea. Also, just as you can see Thai paintings all around in his house. In the past, almost all Thai art was religious, and we have a long tradition of making Buddhist paintings on cloth. Thai paintings recall the stories of the past life of the Buddha, and they are all more than 100 years old in Jim Thompson's house. Also, a Thai monk will show this painting to his followers when teaching about his good deeds. I'm so sorry, over there please. Thank you.
Go up.
Yes, now we have an exhibition, The Spinning Wheels by Miss Kavitra. She is a Thai artist, and this art is inspired by Thai silk. You will see this exhibition all around in Jim Thompson's house. And if you are interested in art, you can visit our art center after the tour. Now, you follow me to see upstairs. Thank you. Yes, and this 13th century Khmer style Buddha come from Suphanburi province in Thailand. Many important Khmer monuments and images are found here because the Khmer Empire extended into this country. Here the Lord Buddha is seen meditating while seated on the seven-headed Naga king, a mystical serpent and god of the waters. You can see this Buddha statue is damaged. So the seven heads of the Naga are missing. Actually, there were the seven heads of the Naga in this position. This statue represents an important event in the life of the Buddha. According to legend, after attaining enlightenment, the Buddha sat meditating for many weeks. And when it started to rain, the Naga king came to protect him from flooding and found a pool to shelter him from the rain like this. In Thai language, we call this one Na Krong. Na is a Naga king. Also, you can see this Buddha statue in the Thai temples. This one is over 800 years old and is made of sandstone. And so, we follow me to see inside the room. After you, please. Oh, and this room was once the kitchen, but it now contains a collection of porcelain with tiny size but made in China. In the 18th to 19th century, samples of tiny size were sent to China to make the special type of porcelain. We call this benjarong. The benjarong, which means 5 colors. The original colors were white, black, green, yellow, and red. Later, other colors including gold were added. The motifs are from Hindu Buddhist mythology. So you can see these designs and motifs in paintings, also temple decorations everywhere in Thailand. In the old days, the benjarongs are often used in Thai palaces for serving food because they were really expensive. And they are more than 200 years old in this period. Oh, and please look at this way, I'm sorry. Yes, so here are the pots for the rice wine. You can see that it has a spout, but there is no lid. So how do you put wine inside? Yes, that's correct. And you can look under the pot. You can see there is a hole in the center. Yes, if you want to put wine inside, you need to turn the pot upside down to pour in the wine. Inside the pot is a long tube. And then after you fill the pot and turn it back right side again, the wine will not come out because the tube is higher than the level of the right side. And they are about 100 years old in China. So feel free to look around in this room. Thank you.
Makes me nervous how they jiggle when you walk by. Yeah. That's all I need.
Okay, if you follow me to see inside the dining room. Thank you. After you, please. Thank you. Thank you. Now we are in the dining room. Thompson really enjoyed entertaining guests and was a popular host. So many famous people ate in this room, such as Robert Kennedy, Doris Duke, and writer Somerset Maugham. But in the old days, in the traditional Thai wooden houses, we did not use dining table like this, because Thais is sitting en masse on the floor. So this is the reason why we need to take off our shoes before entering the house. Also, you can see this room is decorated with the Chinese porcelain from Thompson ceramic collection. For centuries, blue and white Chinese porcelain was made for European market and was shipped around the world. It's like the place on the table were first shipped to Europe by the Portuguese traders in 19th century. And they are all more than 200 years old in this period. The dining room shows Thompson's creative design coloring. Usually, the carved panels below the window are only seen from the outside of Thai houses, but he turned them facing inside, so they could be admired while he ate dinner. And the dining room is over 150 years old from Ayutthaya province. Yes, and feel free to look around in the dining room. Thank you.
See this?
Yeah.
Lock. Oh, close the door. Close the shutter.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, this one has both. Yep.
There you go. What is the wood?
Oh, teak. Yes.
This is teak here?
Yes, everything is teak.
Even the floor?
Yes, the teak. Everything is teak in this house. Yes. Okay, and now we are standing in the living room. Jim Thompson bought this beautiful part of his home from their family who lived in Thompson for now. And this room is over 200 years old. In the living room has many important actions. Just like the elegant seated Buddha statue in the center of the room is Burmese. Also, please admire the beautifully painted like a book cabinet. And on top of the cabinet is the head of the Buddha came from Ayutthaya ruins. And we know this one is over 700 years old. Oh, and as there are rooms on either side of the living room, Jim Thompson carefully turned these windows into the niches to display his collection of the Burmese guardians. And we call these the nuts. We believe that the nuts can protect the house from a bad spirits. And they are all more than 100 years old from Burma. Also, on the weekends, Jim Thompson would sit on the Western style sofa here and enjoy looking up at his wonderful garden. So actually, he lived in the house alone because he was divorced by the time he came to Thailand. And he only lived in this house for 8 years before disappeared in Malaysia in 1967.
Only 8 years.
Yes, only 8 years in his house. Oh, feel free to take a photos inside the room, but please don't stay inside. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Just like two houses from their families who lived in and two houses from Ayutthaya. Yes, and then connected together.
Okay.
Yes.
You do.
Okay, now follow me this way.
His office?
Yes. And now we are in Jim Thompson's study. Here we see one of his favorite pieces, This is a really important 7th century Buddha statue from Lopburi province in Thailand. And this one is over 1,400 years old, just like the Buddha statue at the downstairs. And when Jim Thompson moved to Thailand, he began to collect Southeast Asian art. He had an excellent eye for beauty. He wanted to preserve local culture and always intended that his collection remain in Thailand. I'm so sorry, Ola, please. Thank you. This one is the map of the Saiyan. They were received in France in 1686. This map shows how large the kingdom of Siam was at the time of the visit of Monsieur Le Chevalier de Chaumont, the first French ambassador to Siam in that day, and the abroad settling of Thai ambassadors who were sent to France. They were received at the court of the King Louis XIV at Versailles. And in the old days, Thailand used to be called Siam. Also, Ayutthaya province was the old capital of Siam in that day, and it's only about 1 hour from Bangkok in nowadays. Thank you. Sorry. Yes, and you know, for many Thais, astrology is a really important part in their life. People often consult the astrologer to set the date for their marriage or to start building a new house. Here are 2 astrological charts done for Jim Thompson by a Thai monk. The one on the left shows April 3rd, 1959, the lucky day for him to move into the house. On the right is his horoscope. According to this chart, he needed to be very careful when he turned 61 years old. In fact, he mysteriously disappeared in Malaysia when he was 61 in 1967. So Thai people really believe in astrology and both also a bad spirits very much. Now before let me to see inside the room. Okay. Yes, and you can see this bed is very small for us. Actually, this one is a Thai sofa. So this room is the living room for the guests. Also, the view of the garden is very pretty from here. Jim Thompson really loved his garden very much. In a letter to his sister, he described it as a jungle. Oh, and in the old days, in the Thai houses, we did not have the toilets. But the toilet is located outside the house in the compound. So for convenience, we use a shower pot instead. So can you find a shower pot in picture? A shower pot. No, it's too big. Okay, it's on the table. And the cat is a shower pot. This one is over 50 years old from Chiang Mai in Thailand. Actually, this one only for little boys. Just like if you want to use the cat, you need to take his head off like this. But it's only for decoration in the Jim Thompson house. So before we to see his bedroom. Is a bathroom, but we cannot open to show you because there are very small floors to go inside. Thank you. Oh my God, please. Okay, now we are in Jim Thompson's study. Jim Thompson bedroom, I'm sorry. And the photograph of Jim Thompson were taken a few months before he disappeared in Malaysia. In 1967, he was on a vacation in the Cameron Highlands. So in the afternoon, he went for a walk because he left behind his cigarettes and the medicines that he used all the time. He certainly did not plan to be gone for long. Until this day, we do not know what happened to him. He just mysteriously disappeared in the jungle and never came back. In his bedroom has many unusual objects. Just like this one, this is the standing screens. And the standing screens are often used in Thai temples. They were placed in front of the door to block a bad spirit from entering the temples. This one originally had 450 small Buddha images from Ayutthaya province, and it's over 200 years old. I'm so sorry. Let me introduce this one. Thank you. Yes, and this one is the mouse house. In the 19th century China, the mouse house was used for the gambling games. Chinese Mandarin would paint colors on the mice and then were placed into the house in order to bet on which one would get out from the method. You know, because there was no television in 200 years ago, so this house was used for entertainment for an hour. And it's like the children will watch the mice running through the rooms. Also, the real mice will running all around the house to find the exit in this way. Yes, and feel free to look around in his bedroom. Ladies and gentlemen, before you leave the room, follow me this way. Okay, this will be the space for you, but now we are open for an exhibition. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today. I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. It has been my great pleasure to show you around the house. So enjoy your stay in Thailand and we look forward to seeing you again. Yes, I'm so sorry for today if I don't speak clearly because I have a soft throat. Yes, it's okay. Thank you. I'm glad to see you guys today. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you can go to sleep inside the room. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You can just this way and feel free to walk around in the garden. Thank you. Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
and ocean.
Yeah. Udah selesai di gym Thompson-nya. Lumayan tadi seru, 45 menit ya. Tadi sempat pas keluar ketemu sama orang muslim juga, Abdul Khalid. Ini dia jalan saya Kasemsan ya, di jalan lagi. Terima kasih. Hai, balik ke hotel. Udah beli air ya, udahlah cemilan-cemilan kita balik.